from Northland Health Centers. Good morning, Jenny. Welcome back.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Before we get into some of the specifics about what people can do, is this a pretty widespread issue?
It is, especially in the Midwest,
Yeah.
because we struggle with the daylight, and daylight is such an impact on moods, and we just don't realize it. We don't think about how much light can affect our moods and our bodies.
I believe that. All of a sudden, you don't realize why you're not feeling up to par, and but it's part of winter. And as the days now start creeping a little bit longer, do people start coming out of that, or what's the deal?
It depends. Each person is going to be a little different, have a different tolerance to that, but the prolonged darkness can have an effect on what we call our circadian rhythm, which really is very sensitive to light and dark. Like, I have a hard time. I need to have complete darkness when I sleep.
Really?
I don't like having even
So you like this in the middle of December, really?
Yeah, it helps me sleep, but others know they have to have a little light. So it's kind of personalized a little bit, but that light and darkness really can affect our sleep patterns.
And that's one of the main things that you talk about. Even though it's cloudy outside, make sure when you have an opportunity to get out and get some sun, you say that's very important.
Yeah, especially when we're trying to balance that out, right? With so much darkness, we want to bring in that lightness, and that natural light is usually the best. With a window, if we can get outside. The last couple of days, probably didn't recommend being outside for too long because of the weather and everything, but yeah, as long as we can get a little bit of that sunlight, at least 20 minutes of sunlight a day.
I had someone tell me to even ditch the sunglasses because you want vitamin D getting into your eyes, into your body through your eyes. Tell them we'll call them right back.
Right.
Yeah.
Surrey wants to interrupt us.
There you go. And it's important to stay active too. Don't just become a couch potato. Make sure you stay active.
Yeah, physical activity is so beneficial for our health in so many different ways. It helps us with our endorphins, which is the natural stress reliever for our bodies, and that can help with our moods too. So just being physically active, getting around doing something, and in the wintertime we maybe don't get outside as much as possible, but at least we can have a little bit of where we can be active and get that, inside yoga, things like that. I see a lot of different programs of walking inside and things like that you could do. Just try something, or just being up and moving around a little bit more can help get that activity and get those serotonins going.
And Jenny, just because you're probably not as active, that doesn't take the place of sleep. You really want to maintain your level of sleep and get enough.
Yes, sleep is a big one, along with light, but sleep can really affect our physical health and our mental health too, because if we don't get enough sleep, we're cranky, we're crabby. So everybody
not
has
us, but some people
not
are.
us, never.
Some people get that
Some
way.
people can live with 2-3 hours a night. Not me. I need at least 5 or 6. Everybody's a little different, but they say anywhere between 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a night is what we need for that healthy rejuvenation, because when we sleep, our body reheals itself in so many different ways.
And obviously children, school-age children especially, probably need a little more sleep, but is it age dependent as to how much sleep you should get, or is there a pretty solid line that you should get your 7 to 8 hours?
Age does matter. So, kids sometimes need a little more, and teenagers actually need the most compared to adults. They need almost 10 to 12 hours. Wow. Whereas children, they need a little more sleep too, not quite as much as teenagers, but the 8 to 10, and adults is that 5, 6, 7 to 8.
Yeah, and that's why, with teenagers, it's hard to get them to go to sleep, and then it's just as hard, if not harder, to get them to wake up. Yeah, but we're down to a minute left, and I want to ask you about this too, because it is so easy to shut ourselves in and lose track of friends and family during this time, and that's important to maintain those connections.
Yes, the connections are important, because when we're dealing with the winter blues or moody blues, that loneliness and that isolation can kind of sneak in. We don't really realize it, but we all need to have some kind of connection with other people to help us feel balanced, feel part of the world and connected. If we don't, we start to question ourselves.
Yeah, and very, very briefly here, there are some apps that can help you as far as mindfulness and things like that. You recommend those as well?
Yeah, to relax, Calm and Headspace, all that can be good mindfulness things to help you get that relaxation in there too.
Jenny, always great advice, and especially this time of year when people are, some people are already thinking spring, and rightfully so, because we are seeing an increase in daylight as far as the length of the day. So this is just a good example of trying to help us get through the rest of the winter.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate it.